My name's Maddie, and I'm 9 years old, and my mission in the world is to try to change everything and to act kind even though you're mad at something. Do the thing that gives them most joy.
She's very well spoken. She's grown into such a beautiful girl. We went through that radiation treatment, which say that I would have another 9 to 12 months with Zoe. How do I take that? I think that no one can accept the fact that that you're living on a timeline. For a parent, I think for me it's like a journey of hope. No parents, when they hear of DIPG, no one would give up. No one would give up that hope that you could be that your child could be long-term survivor.
Talon was an amazing, beautiful young man who I loved to the moon and back. He says, "Can you make a difference?" And I said, "I can try." After Talon died, I ended up discovering Paul Miller's group. He's an American in Colorado, and he actually started DIPG, Awareness for Family and Friends. And so I became involved with that. I'm still involved with that today. One day we hope these groups close, that we don't need them anymore because there's a cure.
It was something, even though I am a medical health professional, but it was something that I had never heard of. It was a shock. It was like the whole world collapsed, because once we found out what the diagnosis actually was and the prognosis in the future, it was just like a shocking news to us, to the whole family here.
Over 4 months, he literally lost every ability that you and I take for granted. I can't let my son's life be in vain, what he went through, what he suffered.
Lucy's bright, bubbly, friendly. She's that caring kid.
So we got all this information in one meeting.
We were told
so it's like being hit with a ton of bricks.
Yeah, told go home, make memories, and that part is just, it's not good enough.
Alex passed away about 12 months ago, and he was 6 years old.
The brothers were very close, so they were only 19 months apart and had a really beautiful relationship.
The tragedy of losing someone at the age that Alex was, but you should think about it in terms of the amount of life that's being lost.
Rubes and I were literally twin flames. She looked like me, acted like me, always called herself Mini Mummy. Rubes was diagnosed with DIPG, but so were we. DIPG is not just a diagnosis on your child, it's your whole life. Our whole life is DIPG now.
Well done! It just makes you want to do something, and it makes you want to change this. It's not acceptable that our children are left alone, to deal with this alone.
Now that I really get to know my mom and dad and the hospital ladies, I really think that I should pay a bit more attention to them because they're trying to make me feel better.
Josie was my best little mate. She was very much like me. It's a really complex job to do, and we need lots of groups working together. When we delivered that diagnosis, given my field, I thought, this is ridiculous. We must be able to develop treatments.
With DIPG, radiation is the current standard of care, and it's completely inadequate. It leaves patients partially paralyzed with really terrible side effects, but that's all we have. And this is the reason we at Synallosense are developing a new way to treat DIPG.
We do need to keep working together, because that's the best way and I would say the only way to find a cure for DIPG. As soon as I started reading about DIPG and understanding the consequences and how bad is this cancer for the kids, I realized that because of my expertise, I was up for the challenge.
When you look at brain cancer, it is the #1 killer of children. Surely that deserves more funding than it's currently getting. The template's been written.
Only 11 years ago this year, the mutation that causes the disease was discovered. So, you know, our fundamental understanding of the disease is way behind. But thanks to these brave parents who start foundations in memory of their lost child, the research that we've been able to do and the research that's happening from around the world is really rapidly catching up to these other diseases.
If you look at leukemia, so many children were dying of leukemia. And when I was a medical student, there was more children who died than were saved. Now it's the other way around. And how's that happen? Very simple. Raising awareness, raising funds, giving funds and importance to the scientists.
More than 250 clinical trials have been opened to see if they can cure DIPG, and none of them have worked. So we have to stop doing what we're doing and try to think outside the box and create novel ways of treatment.
I strongly believe that the answer to brain cancer research may not be with the big universities, the ones who are getting all the funding, but from out-of-the-box thinkers, you know, disruptive scientists who really have a great concept of you know, trying to find the silver bullet.
That would mean that, you know, other talented researchers and medical doctors and oncologists would be attracted to the field because they knew that there was funding to do their work. And then we would bring in some of the best to try and fight the worst of the worst. That'll only happen if, one, parents stay motivated to fundraise and to turn sausages at Bunnings and to run marathons and to do whatever they can. And if the federal government can at least match that or even go beyond that and contribute.
Make as much noise as you can. Get out there, beat the drum, yell from the tallest mountain, and make sure that everyone knows that this is a terrible disease and no one is giving it any sort of attention.
When you actually, you know, have what I call as a day in the life of a DIPG family, then you see that we would do anything, and we just hope that somehow more than just palliative care, can we do a bit more than that? Explore other treatment options just so that we know that the hospital, the system, did not give up on our children.
This is my life's mission now, whether I like it or not. It just makes me more determined to want to change this for the future, because this journey that we've been through it's not acceptable for me.
I still am very passionate at being a part of the community and other families that are currently battling. These families and these children, I know what they're going through, I know what they're about to go through, and it's horrendous, and it's something needs to change. And if I can be brave enough like my son was brave, like he was so brave, if I can just be as brave as him, then it's worth any heartache that I have to suffer.
So for me, it's super important to know, like, yes, I'm fighting with this experiment, nothing works. We're gonna come back to it, because if this works, this is gonna help people. This is gonna help children that are going to be diagnosed. I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow, in 3 years' time, in 10 years' time, but this is our contribution, and it's gonna be meaningful.
And again, it's making a difference. Making a difference is what really, really counted. Otherwise, I think I'd just be a basket case. And I'm giving my promise. Yeah, make a difference. And that's what you need to do for all our DIPG children.
Why I think we should find a cure is because I know a lot of families have been struggling with this, and it's one of the saddest things that makes me feel quite sad. Like when families struggle and babies cry and giving up, that really hurts my feelings. Because I don't like to see people giving up too easily, and I like to stay strong. First things off is to act kind even though you're mad at something, and I try to make a big difference in the world, but so I'm trying to feel this cure.